What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give you guys my pregame thoughts on our first preseason game versus the Miami Dolphins. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my pregame thoughts on our first preseason game against the Miami Dolphins. This game will take place at the Miami Dolphins home stadium at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. And it's a couple things and a couple players that I'll be watching in this game. I'm not too sure, first off, if our starters will play in this game. Arthur Smith did mention that they were going to talk about it today, him and the coaching staff, and debate if they should play our starters at any point in this game. Personally, I don't believe our starters will play, but if our starters do end up playing in this game in that first quarter, I want to see how well we're able to drive the ball down the field. Are we able to go down and get a touchdown right off the bat? I want to watch and see how sharp Desmond Ridder is leading this offense. I want to see how well this offensive line plays together, because we have Matthew Bergeron, our rookie left guard. I'm going to be watching him closely because we know he is filling in for Matt Hennessy. This will be his first NFL game ever. So I'm definitely going to be watching him closely on that offensive line to see how well he plays and to see how well he gels with those other guys, those veteran guys that we have on the offensive line at this point. I also want to see Bijan Robinson. If he plays in this game, I want to see how well he plays in his first NFL start as well. And I'm definitely going to be looking to see what guys are coming out there making plays as far as on the offensive side of the ball. Guys like Drake London, if he decides or if they decide to play him in this game, to see how well he matches up if the Dolphins play their starters, Xavier Howard, and some of the better cornerbacks that they have on their team. I want to see how well Desmond Ridder is. Is he able to get the ball to his playmakers, get the ball in their hands? Another thing that I'll be watching in this game is on the defensive side of the ball. If our starters play right off the bat, I want to see if we're able to get pressure consistently against that Miami Dolphins offensive line. They stated in the practices, in the joint practices, that we dominated the trenches and that our secondary played really, really well, or our defense as a whole played really, really well against that Miami Dolphins offense during the practices. So I want to see if that carries over into this game. I'm also going to be watching how well we tackle in this game. Football is a very fundamental sport. And because we're not able to tackle, do live tackling at practice anymore in the NFL, I want to see how well our team looks as far as their pad level. I want to see how well they're able to bring guys to the ground, because in practice it's one thing where they're blowing plays dead, but when you get into a live NFL game, you have to wrap up on these guys. You have to bring these guys to the ground. And I want to see how well our team tackles. Are we giving up yardage after contact, or are we making the one-on-one tackles? Are we tackling the player and not allowing a lot of yardage after contact? So those are a couple things that I'll be watching in this game. As far as the second string players, I'm going to be looking at guys that may be on the bubble, guys like Frank Darby, who's had a really, really good camp so far. I want to see how well he does in the actual game, to see if he can carry that over into this preseason game. Guys like Josh Ali, he's another guy that's kind of been on the bubble at that wide receiver position, that's been doing really good in the one-on-one drills and doing good in the 7-on-7 portions of these joint practices. I want to see if that carries over into these games as well. I'm also going to be taking a look at guys on the defensive side of the ball. Zach Harrison is a guy that I will be watching very closely the defensive end slash outside linebacker from Ohio State, who we drafted this year. They stated that he's been dominating in the trenches at practice, but I want to see if that carries over to the game, to see if he's able to get pressure on the quarterback. Is he able to set the edge? Because if he balls out during these preseason games, he could easily be the starter at that edge position, or easily get a lot of snaps. Personally, I don't think that Zach Harrison will be the starter. I do think that I'll be Bud Dupree at that edge position and Lorenzo Carter. But if Zach Harrison somehow outworks these guys in preseason and he goes out there and balls, I definitely could see him possibly being a guy that could get a lot of snaps heading into the regular season. So I want to see how well he plays in his first NFL game as well. And then I also want to take a look at this secondary to see who will step up in the absence of Jeff Okudah and in the absence of Clark Phillips. If Clark Phillips is not able to play, which I don't think he'll be back in this preseason game due to him having that ankle injury, and I know for a fact that Jeff Okudah probably is pretty much done into the regular season, I definitely want to see who's going to be that cornerback that steps up and possibly competes for that number 2 cornerback position. Will it be Trey Flowers that we brought in? Will it be Mike Hughes? Will it be D. Alford? We have a lot of different guys that can fill that number 2 cornerback position, but I want to see who rises to the occasion. Who's a ball hawk out there? Who's a guy that's actually making plays on the football? And who's out there competing for that starting outside corner position until Jeff Okudah returns. So it's a lot of interesting narratives heading into this first game. I definitely think that this Falcons team is a very exciting time for this Atlanta Falcons fan base, because this team is loaded with players. And I really think that this is going to be a really, really good year for our Atlanta Falcons. But I'm definitely going to be looking forward to this first preseason game to see who steps up, which player may come out of nowhere that we haven't really heard a lot about. This is your chance to make your name. Last year, it was Jared Bernhardt who kind of stepped up and made plays during the preseason and end up sneaking on the 53-man roster. He ended up, making the team because he balled out in those preseason games. So I'm looking to see who's going to be that Jared Bernhardt this season for our Atlanta Falcons, a player that nobody's really paying a lot of attention to, but that's going to go out there and make plays and possibly make this 53-man roster when it's all said and done. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on players you may be watching in this game, heading into this game, and give me your thoughts on some of the narratives that you're looking forward to in this game. Personally, the 3 that I mentioned is the line of scrimmage. I'm going to be watching that closely. Zach Harrison, the rookie, I'm definitely going to be watching him closely. I want to see if we're able to sack the quarterback, not just get pressure, but if we're able to collapse the pocket and also get the quarterback on the ground. And I'm also going to be looking at the live tackling to see how well we tackle after contact. And then I'm definitely going to be looking at Desmond Ridder at that quarterback position. If he ends up playing, see how well our offense is clicking on all cylinders. And then lastly, to see if our offensive line with Matthew Bergeron, if those guys can gel quickly, and if Matthew Bergeron can push Matt Hennessy for that starting left guard position. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.